Next on Worcester News tonight, the price for the commuter rail here in Worcester could soon be going up. For the first time in 3 years, the MBTA is proposing a fare hike.
The sewer district in Leicester's Cherry Valley is now facing a very unique financial problem. How the town and state are now looking to fix the issue.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. One of the sewer districts in the town of Leicester is facing bankruptcy. If it happens, hundreds of residents in Cherry Valley could potentially be without some basic services until the issue is solved. Tonight, elected officials shared their concerns at the town's select board meeting. Our Cam Jandro is live in Leicester tonight with more. Cam?
Anna, I sat down with Senator Michael Moore, and he says this is uncharted territory for the state of Massachusetts because no sewer district has ever gone bankrupt. He says he's been in contact with the Mass Department of Environmental Protection, and even they're scratching their head on this issue. But right now, the concern is making sure the people in Cherry Valley have the proper services. The town of Leicester has 4 sewer districts. One is now facing financial issues never seen before in Massachusetts.
For the first time in the state's history, we are probably going to have a sewer district that is on the verge of going bankrupt.
The Cherry Valley Water District currently serves more than 400 households in Leicester. The district is responsible for wastewater operations in their respective area. Congressman Jim McGovern's district director, Kathleen Polanowitz, says residents would immediately feel the impact.
The potential exists that if it goes bankrupt, they're not going to be able to, be quite frank, flush their toilets because it won't have any place to go. So, of course, we want to avoid that eventuality for the residents.
Monday, Polanowitz joined Senator Michael Moore and State Representative David LaBeouf at the Select Board's meeting. They say bankruptcy would also be devastating to any future plans of economic development in town.
Having a portion of the town go bankrupt is not necessarily the calling card that a community would want to potential development and businesses.
Cherry Valley Sewer District is a subscriber-owned entity and is therefore not run by the town of Leicester. District commissioners are chosen by the residents. Senator Michael Moore says the goal Monday was to get the attention of those who would be affected.
All we can really do is provide backup or support or resources to help them deal with the current situation.
Not potentially, flushing your toilet on a daily basis, which is not a way that anyone should have to live in.
Now, right now, there is no specific timeline as to when this bankruptcy could take place. Moore says he, as well as other elected officials like Congressman McGovern and Representative David LaBeouf, are looking to find funds to make sure that the residents of Cherry Valley don't have to deal with any issues. Live in Leicester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
The MBTA announces a new proposal Monday to increase riders' fares across the board. The move would impact commuter rail riders here in Worcester. The proposal would raise fares 6.3% and take effect in July. The increase would raise Charlie card prices from $2.25 to $2.40. Bus fares would also go up 10 cents. This is the first increase since 2016. MBTA officials say the proposed increase is in line with the rate of inflation in the Boston area and is necessary for the authority to continue making investments to improve service. Some riders at Union Station in Worcester say they're not happy about the price potentially going up.
I don't like it. At least it's not like a lot, but I'd prefer if they didn't. Hopefully it doesn't continue.
It's only 5 cents more, but it still adds up, so I think that's kind of like, I don't know, it's lame, but it is what it is. Like, if it happens, it happens.
State law allows the MBTA to raise fares no more than 7% once every 2 years. The authority says they'll be holding public meetings until February 28th. The Fiscal and Management Control Board is expected to vote on it in March. Worcester City Councilor Sean Rose is proposing an idea to transform the Greendale Mall into a new home for a city department. Rose is requesting City Manager Edward Augustus explore options to consolidate the DPW buildings on Albany Street, Meade Street, and East Park into the Greendale Mall. According to Mass Live, Rose says the idea came after seeing the city's current DPW buildings and their locations could attract buyers. The item is on the agenda for Tuesday night's City Council meeting. A fundraiser brings in an additional $70,000 for the Ava Roy Fund. As we reported Friday, The towns of Shrewsbury, Northborough, and Westborough held the event Towns of Love for Ava. It featured silent auctions and raffles on more than 100 items. The Ava Roy Fund has already surpassed the $500,000 mark last week. Ava's father, Christopher Roy, died after battling a 5-alarm fire in Worcester last month. The fund in his daughter's name was created by Worcester firefighters Local 1009. More than 450 people attended the event. Paw Sox officials meet with architects Monday to discuss the future Polar Park. Team officials say ideas collected at a meeting with the arts community last week were presented. At a meeting last Tuesday, the Worcester Cultural Coalition gave opinions on how to make the ballpark look more like Worcester. Ideas like including local art and hosting local performers were suggested. Paw Sox team president Charles Steinberg left with a notebook filled with ideas to bring to Monday's meeting.
The ideas that come forth go through no red tape. The words of the art community come through my lips at Monday's design session.
Construction for Polar Park is set for July 2019. Two community leaders are taking part in a friendly bet for Super Bowl 53. It's the center of Massachusetts, Rutland, versus a city in the center of California. The two have never met each other, but hope this rivalry will form a new friendship. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Pats are going all the way.
Patriots fans in Rutland are confident in a win against the Los Angeles Rams at Super Bowl 53.
They've been counted out a few times and just keep coming back.
So is their new town administrator, Michael Nicholson. He's made a friendly bet with a city in California.
Any way to show off the Patriots to anyone else is always a fun time for me.
The town of Rutland is the geographic center of the state of Massachusetts. Their counterpart in California is the city of Madera.
Found that information out there and then went to the city of Madera's website and called the city manager from there, and everything got rolling.
Whichever municipality's team loses will have to send a gift basket filled with local goods from their area. Both places are hoping their state's team wins, but have an idea of what they'd send.
Some form of maple products, a couple of staple things from Massachusetts. There'll definitely be something Patriots in that basket as well.
We'll definitely have some great California wine, some raisins, some nuts. We're also in the same county as Yosemite, one of the wonders of the world, and so I'm sure there would be something in there.
Madera's mayor says he never expected to hear from a local leader across the country. He hopes this sparks an unlikely friendship.
I would like to send that basket anyway, and hopefully through this gift basket they might know a little bit more about Madera and who we are.
Nicholson just started his position in Rutland this month. He says the wager will be a great way to jump into his new role.
Fun way to, one, get to meet people in the town, two, see what the town has to offer outside of what I already knew.
A Brookline doctor is facing multiple charges after Auburn police pulled him over Sunday night. Police say 42-year-old Kang Liu was arrested for offering to engage in sex for a fee and for possession of a firearm without a license. Liu told officers he was not required to carry a license because it was his, quote, constitutional right. He was held without bail and is due back in court Thursday. One of 3 men convicted in the killing of Paxton Police Chief Robert Mortel in 1994 is seeking parole. Kenneth Paget is sentenced to life in prison for the chief's murder. He will go before the state parole board in Natick Tuesday. The chief, 38 at the time of his death, was looking for 3 men who had stolen a truck at gunpoint after breaking into 2 houses. Chief Mortel was killed in an exchange of gunfire with Paget and the 2 other men. A fictional story outlines a way to remove a president without impeaching him. It's the basis of a book from a retired Worcester lawyer. He says he got the idea from real events. Our Brittany Schaefer explains.
A retired Worcester lawyer outlines how to get President Donald Trump out of office in his new book. Burton Chandler published How an Individual Citizen Can Legally Fire, Not Impeach the President earlier this month.
I made this book, deliberately made it as a textbook for a lawyer who wants to do it.
Chandler says it all starts with taking the president to court by filing a writ of mandamus. It basically orders a government official to fulfill their duties. Next would be using the 25th Amendment, where presidential power can be assigned to the vice president if the president becomes incapacitated. Chandler believes President Trump is mentally unstable and there's probable cause for removing him from office.
A serial liar. He contradicts himself all the time. He has no experience. He does things that are inconsistent with ordinary rationale and everything else. I ultimately spoke to a few psychiatrists, and there are definitely out there they're willing to testify.
The 84-year-old says during the court hearings, Congress could order the president to take a mental examination. He says adding this to the Mueller investigation, sexual misconduct allegations, and a Democratic House would be too much to handle.
He's got such an enormous load on his back that I can see him deciding to look America square in the face and say, you don't deserve this, but I decide I don't need this garbage. I quit. Good luck to all of you. And that's what I think might happen.
Chandler says people from across the country have reached out to him about the novel. He says he believes multiple lawyers will take on the task.
I would think that there would be copycat cases brought all over the country. I got a copy of the proposed complaint in there. You could file your writ of mandamus within a week. That'd be the first one to send him a letter of congratulations.
Chandler says the book only took him a few months to write, and he's not worried about any potential criticism. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.